Wi-Fi. It's one thing that you may have thought about a lot when you're planning your trip to Kenya. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how easy it is to find free Wi-Fi as you're going to be traveling around Kenya. And I'm going to tell you why you should not actually consider any of those easy options that I'm going to describe to you today and what to use instead. My name is Anthony and this is East Africa Travel Tips. And in this video, we are covering Wi-Fi. So the topic of Wi-Fi is one that I've discussed before. Probably I'm not going to discuss it as much as I have in the past because I think you can beat a horse to death. But I think it's something that people really inquire about because we want to be connected to our devices. We want to have access to our loved ones. We want to be able to tell them that we've arrived safely. And so it's something that we really think about. So one of the things you may have thought about is, are you going to find free Wi-Fi access when you come to Kenya? And how good is that access going to be? And how safe is it going to be? So let me give you the quick answer, is that generally you'll find Wi-Fi moderately easy to find. That is because internet is fairly well accessible in Kenya, and you'll be able to find a lot of internet connections around the country. And especially in the places where you're going to be traveling to, especially as a tourist, you will find Wi-Fi access. So I'm going to discuss specifically in the places where you expect to find Wi-Fi where you don't. But generally speaking, you should expect to find Wi-Fi quite easily here in the country. So let's first discuss your on your arrival. Once you arrive, you're going to probably need to have Wi-Fi access in the very few minutes of your arrival. So does the airport have Wi-Fi access? Now, there are lounges that would have Wi-Fi access. There are cafes that would have Wi-Fi access. But I would say do not depend on it. And I'll discuss what you should do once you arrive. But do not depend on it. It's not going to be something you're going to find easily because it's not widely covered. I have not tested the airport Wi-Fi in Jomo Kenyatta, whether it actually is reliable or not. So I'll not discuss it here because, again, I want to be authentic with you. So I've not tested that at all. But I do know that there are a number of cafes and lounges within the airport that would ordinarily provide free Wi-Fi because there are places like that are big name brands within the country that ordinarily provide Wi-Fi. So that takes me to the second part. Now, once you're out of the airport, you're going to go to a hotel. Now, in your hotels, especially if you are tourists, you're generally spending your time in a place that is relatively good, relatively high upscale, and you most likely are going to find good, reliable Wi-Fi that is going to be password protected. So most of the hotels, yes, will have free Wi-Fi once you leave the airport and go to the hotel. I know depending on where the hotel is located, if we are talking about Nairobi, most definitely you're going to find Wi-Fi. If you're talking about the outskirts of Nairobi, yes, you will still find Wi-Fi. It may not be as strong as it is within the center of Nairobi, but you will find free Wi-Fi there. Now, hotels, once you get out of Nairobi and the urban areas and go to places like the national parks, you are less likely to find good, reliable Wi-Fi. The reason for this is Nairobi is very well connected. It has very good internet connectivity. But once you leave Nairobi, it becomes a bit less well connected. So places like the Masai Mara, you would be hard pressed to find good, reliable Wi-Fi, especially free Wi-Fi by the hotel. Most likely it's going to be a really upscale hotel, and it's most likely going to be not something that it's probably not going to be very dependable because it's not most likely going to be provided by the major providers. They probably are going to rely on methods that may be expensive. So it's expensive to actually get that kind of reliable Wi-Fi to the hotels in places like the Masai Mara. So do not depend on having Wi-Fi in the Masai Mara. Do not depend on having Wi-Fi in the very outskirts of major cities. Major towns like Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret, and those environments. Do not expect to find very good Wi-Fi there. So yeah, that's that. So I've answered the question of hotels. Now the other place where you expect to find Wi-Fi, if you are in a hurry and you're trying to get somewhere fast, you probably are probably like you're looking for quick internet. You're looking to get quick internet just in and out. The best place, like let's say if you had an emergency and had to connect to the internet right away, the place that I would run to would be a coffee shop. Now these are located in most big towns, and most coffee shops offer free Wi-Fi to their guests. And so go take a cup of coffee and ask for the Wi-Fi password. You're most likely going to get it. It's available. It may not be that great, it may not be that strong, but it's good enough to do a very basic thing. The other place where you probably were wondering about whether you want to find Wi-Fi outside of the places I've already mentioned would be your transportation. The transport place, the thing that is transporting you, whether that be something like the train or the buses or the vehicles. Now I will tell you, do not depend on them having Wi-Fi. The reason for this is Wi-Fi, within those, they will advertise that they have free Wi-Fi, but outside of big cities, it will not be strong enough for you to really do anything useful with. And so if you're traveling from Nairobi to Masai Mara by road, and you're using a vehicle that promises Wi-Fi, do not depend on it being very good and very reliable right through and through. And so, yeah, that's the, I think it's a fourth place, right? I think that's the fourth place that I've mentioned about places to look for Wi-Fi. Now, what should you use instead of those places that I've already mentioned? Because I've rambled about where you can find it, where you should not. My advice to you is do not use free Wi-Fi. Do not use Wi-Fi in Kenya. Even though it's available, don't use it. The reason why I've waited almost 7 minutes to tell you this is, well, I wanted to be able to tell you that it is available. But the reason why you should not use it is Kenyans are good. Kenyans are good programmers, and there are a number of Kenyans who are not very good in terms of ethics, and there are a lot of good Kenyan hackers. And so using free public Wi-Fi, just like anywhere else in the world, would put you in a vulnerable state. So do not use it. Do not use the free Wi-Fi, because I personally consider it very insecure. I'm not saying that once you connect to it, if it's a matter of life and death, don't. I'm just saying that stay away from it, because there are other better alternatives that will make you safer, that will give you a better option. Give you, it will be safer for you if you use them. Now, the option that I want to give to you is use, and I think I've talked about it, and I'm going to link it either in the description below or somewhere within this video. How to set up a phone in Kenya, how to get like cellular data, and that's the method that I would recommend. Now this, I hope this is able to show. This is a SIM card. This is a Safaricom SIM card, very tiny thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to show it like properly, but use a SIM card. Now once you arrive at the airport, you are going to find a SIM card. Places selling SIM cards, and they're basically almost free to use. So do not use free Wi-Fi. Get a SIM card and a data plan. Now this is not going to tie you down to years of data usage. It's actually going to be on pay as you go, and you buy data bundles. And I've talked about how to buy a data bundle, and I think I'll just find it within my channel. If I don't link it anywhere below, find it within my channel. How to buy data in Kenya. And that's the best way to go. Buy a data plan that gives you enough GBs for what you expect, the amount of usage that you normally have. I personally use data a lot, and so I buy like 30 GB. And 30 GB, I'm usually able to find it with my provider. I'm able to find it at roughly around $20. Safaricom, who is the most dependable provider for any tourists coming in, should be able to give you that amount of data for about $30. So it's not a lot of money. So buy a data plan. That's my advice. Do not use Wi-Fi. Buy a data plan. It's the easiest way to go. It's going to give you the reliability you're looking for. You're going to be set if you get the data plan. So look for the video I've described it way more in other places, but use a data plan instead of anything else.